Oh, police! Come to the door! You come to no harm! Shots fired!
Crime never sleeps.
Taser, I think.
But neither
Stand still!
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Taser! Taser!
are Nottinghamshire's finest.
Stop after impact.
Highly trained pursuit drivers, specialists in entry and search,
4 ounces of cannabis.
rapid response firearms officers,
On police! Show yourself now!
Police with a dog, stop!
and the crime-stopping force
Look at my arm!
of the dog unit.
Get down on the floor!
Wherever the battle takes them, they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because come at the hour,
Yeah, Bats, we've still got him. Up on the back wheel, offside of the road.
come at the Interceptors.
Where are you from? Leeds. Leeds. Don't come to Nottingham again, will you?
Coming up, cops come under attack at a cannabis farm.
Police officers in danger! Get down here now!
It's all hands on deck to nick a dodgy driver
Yeah, we're
I've just been driving like an idiot, that's why.
and
Now, on the side of the road, advanced ICT train in an advanced vehicle,
a high-speed pursuit
backed up to manner of driving, immediate risk.
with a high impact finale.
And then crash back.
It's Saturday night in Nottingham, and the Interceptors are out in force patrolling every corner of the city.
Done, we've got you, yeah.
Hobbsy and Nathan are lending a hand with a routine traffic stop.
Or family name.
Well, are we happy that he's safe to drive if he's that bad a driver?
Directions will have to wait as an urgent call comes in.
Delta 31, I think I've got a fail to stop.
We're miles away.
Derbyshire.
Miles away, mate.
God.
You heard him, Hobbsy. Put your foot down.
Hey, what's the exact location? We'll let Derbyshire know.
At 12 miles west of the city, dog handler Chris is hot on the heels of a driver who clearly doesn't want to have a chat.
Good location there.
Yeah, it is about stop the Renault Clio in silver. Ilkeston Road into Ilkeston.
But apart from German Shepherd Yogi in the boot, Chris is flying solo.
The wrong side of the road. Highway.
Until Hobbsy and Nathan arrive, he'll have to keep the Clio on ice.
Now, one side of the road, advanced ICT train in an advanced vehicle.
But the runaways just booted it into a sharp bend.
Backed up to manner of driving, immediate risk.
And the consequences look to be catastrophic.
Crash back.
As the Clio rounds the corner, it's clipped the curb and rolled onto its roof. Fortunately, not only are there signs of life, but 4 lads quickly emerge. What's more, they appear largely unharmed.
It's crashed. It's 4 occupants. They're all walking wounded. Stand down.
As a single crew unit, Chris is outnumbered 4 to 1.
Police officer with a gun!
And now the driver and 1 passenger have legged it, leaving Chris and Yogi with a dilemma.
Stay
where you are! NH, there's 2 occupants out.
The wrong side of the road. Ivory.
On the Knox border, dog handler Chris got on the tail of a Clio that failed to stop.
I'm back stop due to the manner of driving. Immediate ring.
After hurtling into a sharp bend, the Clio landed
And then crash. You get the other side.
on its roof.
They're all walking wounded. Stand over there now! Get your
The
mate!
driver and one passenger made a frantic dash for freedom.
Police officer with a dog!
Now Chris, all alone, is in a catch-22.
I've got 2 males detained. The driver's ran in the distance, he's ran off. I can't go because I've got these 2 occupants. I've just got the dog out and the driver and the passenger's ran off. Mate, you stay where you are, both of you now.
Have you gone in towards them?
Yes, Nottingham Road. Yeah, come here.
As Chris releases German Shepherd Yogi from the van, he hears the sweet sound of sirens. Backup has arrived.
Reddo, these 2 here, mate, they're your passengers. I'm going to go and try and get the driver. See, come on, good boy.
Let the hunt commence. Having pursued the Clio into Derbyshire, Chris has found himself in need of directions.
I'm just out with the dog trying to pick up a track where they've gone. There's a lot of car traffic though, and people have come out on foot to have a look what's going on, so.
But it turns out the locals are extremely welcoming
Hey?
and point someone out by a property nearby.
Yeah, mate, right here.
Mate, come out now. Do not move.
Him.
Huh?
I was chasing him, innit?
Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
No, man, he dusted me.
Delta 3-1, there's one lad here.
The lad has admitted to running from the crashed motor and he's not best pleased.
Turn around.
I think he's the lad that's ran off after the driver.
Mostly, it seems, because he's been ditched by his mate, who's still at large.
Watch him, Yogi.
Fortunately, Interceptors Hobbsy and Nathan have finally arrived to help sniff him out.
Driver's ran. Driver's the only one that's still outstanding. We've got 3 of the 4, so Chris is out tracking. Dog has still got a track, so it's just a case of where he is. He's going to be injured from that, so we need to find him.
It's now over 10 minutes since the crash.
Where is he? Over. Over. Good boy.
But Yogi's got a whiff of something,
Find him, Yogi. Where is he?
and he's just set off towards a figure up ahead.
Is this him, Chris?
Anyway, what you want?
Hey, just need to speak to, yeah? We just had an incident, okay, at the minute. The road, all right?
So there, we're detained under Section 1 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act at the minute. We've had a car, failed to stop at the top of the road. Yeah. 4 lads have ran from it. Our dog's tracking down here, you're walking up. That's why you're being detained.
What do you mean, mate? I've got a cab down here.
Mate, you've got injuries on your hand, consistent with an RTC.
I've had these injuries from before, mate.
But where's your
What,
phone?
fresh blood?
What do you mean fresh blood? I cut myself.
You've come out in dirty clothes.
My hand.
Oh yeah, 3-5. Chris, he's got blood on his hands, this lad.
Because I've got blood on my hands.
Yeah. There'll be blood in the car that matches you, okay? So don't try and pull wool over our eyes.
You could say he'd been caught red-handed. But he's got a story, and he's sticking to it.
Why are you here?
I come to link a friend.
Where's your friend live?
What do you mean where does he live? I don't know where he lives. I'm meeting him. Yeah.
You meeting him?
Yeah.
Have you texted him?
Is he under caution?
Have you
I
texted
don't know
him?
where I've left my phone.
If you've not got a phone on you, so you're just going to come and meet this guy?
What do you mean? I've left my phone clearly in the cab.
Oh no. I do find it hard to believe that you just got out of a taxi with no keys, with no mobile phone, with blood on your hands, down at the bottom of the road where the dog's tracking.
But as the old saying goes, the camera never lies.
He's in here, look, still trying to get out. He's got, night trainers. Yeah. It's him, white night trainers.
He's definitely the driver, white trainers.
Yeah.
The 2 lads who stayed with the car are free to go. And the chap in the white trainers is off to the nick. Which just leaves passenger number 4.
I'm flexible, you get me, don't watch.
He's done this before, this lad.
No, I've not done it with cuffs on.
Nathan wants to know why this lad did a runner too.
Then I got grabbed by the pigs, then I got slapped cuffs on my wrist.
And then you got your details run through the police national computer.
It shows wanted, isn't it?
Yeah.
It turns out he's wanted for failing to show up at court.
He's been arrested.
They're on about he's been arrested. Yeah, for that court thing.
So he's off to the nick too. Meanwhile, the mangled motor, which turns out to be a hire car, is about to take a one-way trip to the scrapyard.
The car has done its job, hasn't it? See, it's lost its tyres, the amount of damage. For 4 of them to be able to get out of that relatively unscathed, it's very, very lucky.
Police are currently awaiting the results of forensic tests on the crashed motor. The runaway passenger was dealt with for failing to attend court, and the suspected driver was arrested for failing to stop, dangerous driving, theft of a motor vehicle and driving without a licence or insurance. The investigation is ongoing. The illegal cannabis trade in Britain is worth £2.6 billion.
3 jars of cannabis, just over £1,000 worth maybe.
And cops seize more than 250,000 plants each year.
50, 60 plants in here, same in the other rooms. It's a bad day for someone.
Most of them grown inside unassuming residential homes.
For the last few years, I've been to quite a few cannabis grows within people's houses. It's fairly cheap, fairly easy to sort of get them set up. And there's quite a lot of them going off. Some we catch, some we obviously won't. We do rely on intelligence from neighbours and passers-by for these things. Obviously they do make a smell depending on how good the ventilation is. So it does sort of make the wider community around these dwellings aware that something's going off.
It's the early hours of Sunday morning.
Yeah, received. Passer's postcode, please.
Dog handler Coops has just received a call from an armed response unit.
November Golf 18.
Miles away.
But the incident in question is in Mansfield.
We are a fair trek away.
21 miles away, to be precise.
Yeah, I've got the thumbs up onto the O1. It's happy for you to travel up to Mansfield.
Yeah, it's received. State 5.
Coops is now blue lighting it to a job that's unfolding in dramatic fashion. Interceptors Dan Machin and Rob Ely are assisting local cops who have been tipped off about a suspect residential property. Having gained entry, Rob's got a whiff of something fragrant, and it's not Dan's new aftershave.
Please!
The house is packed with cannabis plants.
Got an upstairs here.
But are there any human occupants?
There's a downstairs basement, I don't know if you guys want to clear. Yeah.
The team split up to start the search. No prizes for guessing what's in the bedrooms.
There's no one in there.
But who does all the bush belong to?
Jeddah, what? I don't know if it's downstairs.
It's either a poltergeist with a penchant for pot.
Yeah.
Got a bed.
Or there's someone here.
Passport.
Meanwhile, a colleague has just spotted a hatch leading up to the loft. And as he tries to climb through, he finds himself in the firing line.
Who's that?
Get down here now! Get down!
Who's that?
Get down now! Please get down now!
Whoever's up there is throwing missiles.
Top floor, he's in the attic, chucking stuff down. Hey!
Get down now!
Please! Stay back, stay back.
With no ladder leading up, the cops below the hatch are sitting ducks.
You don't know if you've got anything in his hand.
But Rob refuses to have his feathers ruffled.
Chucking those down.
Get down here! Listen to me! Police officer with a taser! Get down here now!
For once, the threat of being tasered doesn't seem to have worked.
Get your arse down here now!
And Rob thinks he knows why.
Do you think we're here to rob you? Mate, listen to me. Listen. We are police. Yeah?
The man doesn't believe Rob's a cop.
You polizei, yeah?
Yes, police.
He thinks they've been robbed.
Cannabis farms are often targeted by violent crime gangs who are out to steal their goods, all to collect so-called protection money.
Look, card.
Sorry, no understand.
Police!
Look, look, police officer.
Officer,
We can either sit here for hours, or you can come down now and get it over and done with.
wait 5 minutes.
Why?
5, okay?
No, you need to come down. We ain't going nowhere. The property's surrounded by about 20 cops.
What's more, Coops and canine cop Rambo are finally here too.
Let's get up to 5-1, state 6.
For now, Rambo will hold the fort.
Hey up. Which house is it? Hey.
While Coops goes to check the lay of the land.
Oh my God.
And things are looking fertile to say the least.
Only in Mansfield. Only in Mansfield.
Coops hasn't seen plants this big since he took Rambo for a run around in Sherwood Pines.
Bloody hell, that's enough. They're easier.
As Coops makes his way upstairs, Rob's finally figured out where the man is from.
What language?
Speak English.
Albanian?
Yeah.
Needless to say, Albanian's not part of an Interceptor's basic training.
This is police.
But cometh the hour, cometh the smartphone.
Polizi?
Polizi!
Police?
Yeah.
And having sussed out the Albanian word for dog,
Chen?
Rob reckons he's found the man's weak spot.
Get down, the dog's coming! We're gonna put a dog! Shen!
Okay.
Shen!
Please, you polizei, no problem.
Come then, here.
Sorry, yeah?
Yes, sorry, come down.
Okay. No. Sorry, yeah?
Look, mate, not sorry, but come down.
Sorry.
Albanian he may be, but he's perfected one English word.
Sorry.
Get down! Get down! Move out the way!
Guys,
Man, sorry,
relax.
please, no. Okay,
chill.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry for this sophisticated cannabis.
Sorry.
With one in cuffs and under arrest,
Sorry, yeah?
Anyone in the loft, show yourself, you come to no harm.
attention turns to the room he just dropped from.
Anyone in the loft, show yourself, you'll come to no harm.
Dan and Rob are going in.
Coops, you not get up here, mate.
Did it say you have to be ripped to be on ALVs?
I'm going in the loft.
Yes. Do you want me to foot it?
It looks like the man in cuffs was alone. But all the evidence points to a large-scale cannabis farm.
Pretty decent setup. I mean, it's rough and ready, but there's a lot of work gone into this. A lot of plants, whole house converted.
It would have been quite a good setup. The lad's been up here, he's been throwing down fans and chairs and all sorts. So it looks quite a mess. He's been grabbing hold of whatever he can to try and prevent us getting up. Not sure if he thought we were a rival gang or he knows the police and was trying to cause us harm.
This kind of guy, he is not going to be the brains of the operation. I'm quite sure of it. He will be here as a gardener / guard, just to tend to it all, make sure it's all running fine.
Back downstairs, the team finally begin to take stock.
I've not counted him, but there's
at least 100 plants.
Easily 3 figures.
Cannabis production on an industrial scale.
Quite a common occurrence where people will rent a very cheap property and then they'll just turn the whole house like this into a massive cannabis factory. The idea of churning out as much cannabis as quickly as they can to make as much profit as they can, and some poor landlord is going to find this mess.
Each plant is capable of producing almost 500 grams of cannabis and has a potential street value of £5,000. Here, every square inch of the property is being used for either cultivation or harvest.
This is a sub-level, this is a basement. It looks like it's just a place of storing the waste product. You can see there's a big bundle of stalks from the cannabis grows. All these black bags are containing other stalks, and it goes right back into the back corner there, so it's been going a long time, this grow has.
It just goes to show, you never know who could be living next door.
Nice little corner plot in Mansfield. These people live in these houses here, and in there you've got a cannabis farm probably worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. It's been quite well developed and probably there for quite a while. Got one in custody for it, so real good job, and it'll upset a lot of people of Mansfield who like to smoke the occasional spliff.
Hatchman was convicted for production of a Class B drug. He was sentenced to 12 months in prison and received more than £150 in fines. All the drugs were seized and later destroyed. Coming up,
got runners back here, runners at Strelly Street.
The knife crime team are hunting runners and jumpers.
Some lads up there.
And
yeah, Gav, get on. Yeah.
Macca and Gav spin on a wanted man.
Oh, what are you doing here? You've just been driving like an idiot, that's why.
Down the bottom, they're just crossing over Osborne Street.
On the street, it's survival of the fittest.
See you coming up behind us, they're just ahead of this van.
Where the most successful predators hunt as a team.
Howdy, gents. Just hang on there for us.
Cornering their prey.
Box on, box on.
Until there's nowhere left to run.
We do tend to hunt as a pack, if you like. We'll go to a job as a team, and naturally, by putting more resources in an area looking for something, your chances greatly increase of finding whatever you're looking for.
She's just getting out of the car now. So, on the quick, please, everybody. She's scored. Somebody grab her, somebody straight to the car.
But it's not just a case of throwing all your resources randomly into an area. We'll speak to one another, we coordinate with one another.
Dan, you stay in front of the car, stay in front of the car.
And base our movements on providing the greatest chance of getting a result and getting whatever it is we're looking for.
On a sunny Tuesday, the knife crime team have left the city centre and headed to the northern suburbs. Joe Riley and Sergeant Matt Daly are on the lookout for a wanted motor.
It is, yeah, you're on about the polo.
As they hang a left, two pedestrians flag them down.
I think it's the marker on it about being DQ.
I don't know what they're up to, but there's something, I think there's a bit of commotion
Right.
for about 4 or 5.
Right, okay. Lovely, no worries.
As a kid, Joe was sports mad, but freely admits his maths wasn't quite up to the mark.
Been flagged down by a couple of people.
But Joe knows a successful formula for any job requires strength in numbers.
Is anybody around commercial? There's a gang of youths. I suppose they've got a bit of trouble with someone else. They're trying to make out it's a bit of fun, but it's not. We've just been flagged down by a couple of people. We're just going to have a walk in, see what they do.
With backup nearby, Joe and Matt head off to investigate the commotion. The men were spotted in an alleyway up ahead. The sound of shouting should lead Matt right there.
You all right?
No fighting.
No fighting.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's all one big misunderstanding.
We used to box with boxers.
Yeah.
Each other. It was only me and Gene's play.
That's fine, mate, that's fine. Just people obviously telling us that something was going on, that's all.
But if you try and sneak away from the cops,
1 second, mate.
Big Joe will be all over you like a rash.
What's your name, dude?
Why?
So I need to know
Why?
whether you want it or not at the minute. So what's your name, buddy?
It's not long before backup arrives in the form of Adam and Dan.
Let me just get my laptop.
Stay here, mate.
So, while the lads' mates shuffle off, Matt grabs the laptop to check his details.
Why are you picking on me? Was I doing anything?
2 seconds of your life, mate.
2 seconds. Something longer than 2 seconds, innit?
The lads got a record, but nothing outstanding.
Am I going now, please?
Yeah, it's your minute.
Yeah, am I cool to go now?
1 sec.
1 second, mate, just check him.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, mate.
Thank you for your time.
Joe lets him off the hook, but this fishing trip is far from over.
These lads who have just gone off. The one we've stopped, he had tenner of his money and he had his burner in his hand, so I think they're looking to score.
Joe reckons they were about to buy drugs. The question is, from who?
I don't know if it's worth you going around the other side, see if you can pick them up over the other side.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to still around 10% to me.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
The team have got units positioned all over the neighbourhood. But round here, it's a rabbit warren of alleyways and dead ends. Luckily, Dan's got the eyes of a hawk.
What's that?
Bingo.
Got runners back here. Runners at Strelly Street. Get towards Latham if you can.
Adam's quick out the traps.
It's a lad that was with Ellis Chilton earlier.
But smoking this lot out won't be easy.
Mate, I'd like a bit of a do-rag on. They've gone in between Lime Street and Strelly Street. They're in sort of gardens round there.
The runners, who are a different group to the men from the alleyway, have disappeared into a row of gardens.
I've come straight round. I've got a view down Muriel and up Lime Street.
With one potential escape route contained, Joe and Matt head off to secure the other.
Some lads up there.
And immediately clock 2 lads lurking at the bottom. As soon as Matt hops out the motor, the lads leg it. If only Interceptors wore trainers and tracksuits. Meanwhile, back on the street, Dan's doubling back. And it doesn't take long before old Hawkeye spots a third runner.
Yeah, can't get anywhere to stop him.
And what the lad doesn't know is that this silver motor is an unmarked police car. And the cops are straight after him and give chase into another garden.
These ones down at the bottom. It's back towards Latham Street.
The lad may have outrun our camera crew, but he hasn't outrun the Interceptors. The arrest has been made by Mike Grant. By the time Matt gets there, the lad's already been carted off to the Nick.
Mate, he won't go anywhere because he's worn out. So in front of him, into the corner. There's a runner because he's got bad light down and his fags. Runs into the corner like this, launches and runs against him. Still,
The suspect Mike caught wasn't one of the men from the alleyway earlier on. But judging by what he was carrying, Joe reckons he is the bloke they were looking to score from.
Got a bundle of Class A heroin and crack cocaine, fair amount in there. They didn't want to stop. They've gone a good way over a lot of gardens. But because we work as a pack, there's a number of us. We've managed to pin them into a garden where this lad's had it in his hand. They're a good little find.
But the job's not done yet. The lad's just been strip-searched in custody where more Class A's and a large amount of cash were found. So the boys are off to search his home address.
No.
Nice.
When they get there, they rendezvous with the rest of the team. And inside, they're greeted by a familiar aroma.
Coming in, strong smell of weed, and we found quite a large amount of cannabis in a shoebox.
As well as the weed, there's a set of digital scales, a wrap of white powder, some nasty-looking blades, and a large stash of designer gear. But most worrying of all is what's under the bed.
It looks like a proper handgun.
It certainly looks the part, but the Sarge isn't so sure.
I think the barrel's too small in diameter to be a viable firearm.
They send a photo of the weapon to the firearms team and soon get the green light to take a closer look.
Yeah, it's not a real firearm.
Happy?
Yeah.
It's a BB gun.
Yeah.
Even so, a pretty convincing replica of the genuine article.
You just assume it was real. It's got enough weight to it. It's the correct size for the type of pistol it's replicating, Walther. And if someone was pointing that at you, you're not going to stare too hard at the smaller barrel. It's even serial numbered to make it look like a real one. But yeah, it's not a real firearm.
BB guns are legal for adults to own, but are supposed to be finished in bright colours to distinguish them from the real thing. This one, together with the rest of the items here, is being seized. A few hours ago, cops had no idea who this lad was. Now they've acquired a huge body of evidence that could help put him behind bars.
In order to find things, you've got to be out there looking. You know, we got a report from a member of public of 5 intoxicated males in an alleyway. We went to the alleyway and we believe that there are Class A drug users looking to score. Dealt with that and sent them on their way. So then all of a sudden from out of nowhere, you game on, you've got a runner and you don't know what you're going to get at the end of it. We've managed to catch the lad who's had probably nearly 100 wraps in his pants, and he's given us an address that's found a load of cash, more phones, cannabis and Class A, and what we thought was a potentially viable firearm initially, wrapped up in a bag. A nice little job, so yeah, happy.
In total, more than 80 wraps of Class A's were seized. Police are currently awaiting the results of further forensic investigations. The case is ongoing. When hunting in packs, teamwork and razor-sharp coordination are the key ingredients to getting a result. Whether on 2 feet or on 4 wheels. It's Monday night and several units of Interceptors are hunting down a blue Vauxhall Vectra that's been playing cat and mouse with the cops all evening.
We've already got 2 Romeos, haven't we? Yeah.
In the Skoda VRS, packing 242 brake horsepower are James Macca McClintock and Gav Hall.
We've only got 2 Oscar Romeos for the team pack this evening.
All units have temporarily lost sight of the Vectra.
So we'll cut right onto Sapphire.
But they've run its details and take a punt that it could be heading home.
You just direct me, mate, to that over address.
It's going to be one of your first rights he's most likely to take. That'll take him into Coxmoor.
The race is on to see which unit spots him first.
That's coming towards us.
And Macca's picked them all to the post.
Yep, there he is.
Having whistled past Macca's right ear, the Vectra's disappearing into the darkness.
I got it. 6-5 have come in. He is A611, Bucknell Road, towards generally the Badger Box, Shoulder and Mutton. We've got no view of the vehicle at the minute. He travelled offside to offside at speed, no view of the occupants.
But despite the Vectra's head start, it's no match for the VRS.
Is that him? That's it.
And Macca's back on the tail of the runaway motor.
Yeah, get on.
Yeah. The passenger door is flung open, but it's the driver Gav wants.
Yeah, we're with it. Andersley Road.
Within seconds, Dan Butler, together with several other units, arrive on the scene. 5 pairs of hands later, the lad is finally contained.
You've just been driving like an idiot, that's why.
A harsh but entirely fair assessment.
Stand up. He pulled in here, and then we just came in behind him.
Why are you drawing that then?
It was the passenger that's ran now.
Jack's
Is that here?
coat, that is.
Where's she gone?
They're in the car.
The female passenger, who attempted to run, has already been taken away to be searched by a female officer. Meanwhile, a search of the driver has drawn a blank.
Is this his hat, Macca, just here?
I don't know. That was in his hand.
Nothing in it, is it? No.
What's more, he's fully licensed and insured to drive the Vectra.
Stand against the car.
Let me just get a breath box.
Plus, on the breathalyzer...
Just one long blow until I tell you to stop. Keep going, harder, keep going, and stop. Thank you. It's analysing your sample, mate. 0, you've passed the test, OK?
He blows 0.
That's all fine, OK?
Clearly, this isn't your average fail to stop.
Not meant to be. We're there. Right, so that's it then? Yeah. Or is it police bail or club bail?
Police bail. I would stop for you. Unbelievable.
Wow, okay.
Hey, that's ridiculous.
It turns out the driver's on a police-imposed bail. The conditions state he's not supposed to be with the person he was travelling with.
Bring your bum in first, watch your edge, that's it.
But Dan reckons there's something else going on.
There you are.
And I'll shut the door so we don't get wet, and we'll do this drug swipe. You're now going to require a sample of saliva for a drugs test, OK? Because you've committed a moving road traffic offence. Do you use drugs at all?
No.
No? OK. Just lean forward, sit your tongue out. Brilliant. OK, that's got enough saliva.
The drug wipe delivers results in less than 10 minutes.
Have you taken any cannabis today?
No.
OK.
Not today, no.
So you're expecting that to be all OK then, yeah?
Yeah.
Despite being tough on crime, Not Born Dan says his all-time hero is local legend Robin Hood. He could be considered an outlaw and a thief, but at least he never failed a drugs wipe.
OK, mate, I've got some bad news for you. So you've tested positive for driving with that cannabis in your system.
While Dan readies the lad for a trip to the Nick, his band of merry men have compared notes and finally figured out what went down.
Colleague plucked the car, and then we've just ran it through, and he recognised the insured party as being this male here. We've turned on him, he's seen us, and he's made off at speed into a state doing silly overtakes. We've lost him, unfortunately, initially, then another colleague's found him later on, and again he's blown reds, trying to get away from them, driving with excess speed.
Anyone convicted of drug driving receives a minimum 12-month ban, a possible fine, and anything up to 6 months in prison. Having failed his roadside test, this lad will be asked to provide an evidential sample of blood at the station. All in all, a decent evening's work for Dan and the team.
We were all kind of in the right area at the right time. Obviously, some of the ARV crews were there, we were there. So I don't think he was ever going to slip the net, but whether his cannabis in his systems led him to drive that way, but luckily nobody's been hurt, no cars damaged, he's in custody. He's going to give his sample to the nurse, and we'll see what the reading comes back as.
Following a review of the evidence, the man was refused charge for drug driving and he wasn't charged for breach of his bail conditions. However, he was served with a traffic offence report for driving without due care and attention. No further action was taken against the female in the car.
Stop driver out, vehicle stop.
Still to come. A suspected car thief gives cops a frosty reception.
My hands are absolutely freezing right now. It's about 3 degrees, so quite why you'd be eating ice pops on a day like this, I don't know.
It's a cold and crisp January afternoon in Notts.
It's a 1400cc Kia Rio.
But there's a hot motor on the loose, so Hobbsy and Bully are hunting it down.
A silver Kia Rio was stolen sometime last night, just after 8 o'clock in Mansfield, just where we're headed now. Apparently it's been quite active today in and around that local area. We've just had a sighting of it probably 15 minutes ago now, so we're just all getting into the area, so we can pick it up.
The Kia's registered keeper is a woman.
Oh, yeah, a lot of things.
The person spotted driving it today seems unlikely to be her.
Oh, mate. If anyone was going to run from that car, that's him. That's it.
Unfortunately, the masked motorist has just dropped off the radar.
It's not pinged any other cameras yet?
No.
So, when Hobbsy gets into Mansfield, he kills the blues and twos and considers his options.
Should we try Mackie D's?
Mate, the last one I found was in Mackie's. One before that was at the garage buying fags, so it's not a bad shout.
Bully's proudest moment as a cop came when he ran a special protection operation for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Which one's Mackie's left here?
Yeah, left of this one, where the van is.
From Royal Watchman to Royale with cheese.
Like some silver cars in there.
Not in there.
For once, the Golden Arches failed to deliver.
Straight up, mate.
Straight up.
Yeah, receive, thank you.
But now the Kia's been spotted by a colleague nearby.
Straight on, yeah?
Yeah, go straight on.
Hobbsy hits the blues.
So it could be anywhere around here.
I'd go lights off, mate, and float along here.
And then kills them again. Bully reckons they could be close.
Sheep Bridge Lane. Is that behind us? Stand by. That's half a mile from here. There they go, they know it is. Dom will know.
Fellow Interceptor Dom has sped ahead in the Unmarked 3 series.
Yeah, we've just outside started. We're in on Bridge Lane still. We're just ahead of it.
A second unmarked unit is also closing in.
They've seen it.
Now, Bully's seen it too.
It's there, innit, behind us.
Is it?
I'm sure that's it, behind it. Yeah, it's there, it's there. It's there.
When 3 units pounce, the result is never in doubt.
Stop driver out, vehicle stop.
The young driver's wrapped up in the same cosy outfit he was photographed in earlier.
Good shot, mate. Okay, mate.
Getting him in cuffs is almost as easy as getting him to fess up.
Got full licence insurance or anything then? No.
But when it comes to the motor, he's denying everything.
Oh, I didn't know it was stolen, so obviously it got a key.
He claims he's only just bought the car this morning. If only Bully had £1 for every time he'd heard that one.
He's bought it, Dom. It's a big mistake. Exactly.
The lad's story's not the only thing that's a bit sus.
He's saying that's Mamba. He says that's Mamba.
The cops have found some herb that the driver claims is Mamba, a synthetic cannabis substitute similar to spice.
So it looks very similar to cannabis, but it doesn't have the distinctive smell. But it'll just get seized and then he'll get interviewed about it.
Mamba is a Class B drug, so carries the same penalties as cannabis.
So, stolen car, bit of Class B. And your DQ is obviously disqualified.
But perhaps most baffling of all is the ice pole he's been clutching throughout the entire arrest. A curious choice of snack on what's shaping up to be the chilliest day of the year.
I think there's another one there melting on the front seat, actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's one on the front seat there. Why would you eat ice pops? My hands are absolutely freezing right now. It's about 3 degrees, so why you'd be eating ice pops on a day like this, I don't know.
Perhaps the lad was inspired by his exotic set of wheels.
It's a Kia Rio.
It's in a Rio. This is Copacabana.
Ah, the Copacabana, the hottest spot north of Mansfield.
Kia Rio.
The lad sambered off to the nick with a rap sheet longer than a list of Brazilian World Cup winners.
He's got no licence, he's got no insurance obviously on it. I'm assuming he's got no receipt for the vehicle that he's purchased, so he's gone back to Mansfield custody now just to be dealt with for that and see what we can come up with. At least we've got the car back for the owner within the day, so it's not a bad job really. Various little packets of drugs. He's saying it's Mamba. It looks like it probably is that way. Yeah, it's just another sorry story of drugs, isn't it, really?
On top of the motoring offences and possession of the Mamba, the driver was charged with taking a vehicle without consent. He was sentenced to 18 weeks in prison, disqualified from driving for 6 months, and ordered to pay more than £500.
And the police interceptors are back next Wednesday at 8. Costing lives and £500 million worth of damage, how did a small protest develop into a nationwide riot? The Week England Burned investigates brand new Monday at 9. Coming up, a shocking killing and a highly controversial investigation. The Bay, the murder of Lynette White, is brand new next.